Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mrs. Clutch, and we are going to be going over triangle inequality theorem. So I want to show you a couple things. This is what we would be doing in class if we were there, but we're not, so I'm just going to demonstrate what it's working, how it works, and why it would work. So the triangle inequality theorem is basically just stating what are the sides of the, what are the lengths of the sides of the triangle to actually make a triangle, because there are sometimes we can get 3 lengths of sides and they don't actually make a triangle. So I have this piece of pasta here, and you can do this yourself if you want. So I'm just going to break it and make 3 different sides here. So the sides that I am now, and I'm going to share the white screen now with you guys, just so I can whiteboard here. So my 3 sides here, I'm going to measure them. So I have one side, and I'm going to measure them with the metric side just because it's easier. So the one side, you can kind of see, which I'm guessing you can't, is about 10.4. So I'll just do this quick text box. We have 10.4 centimeters. Then I have one that is 7.9. I would always suggest going to the nearest 10th here if you can, 7.9 centimeters. And the last one is 7.2. So those are the 3. Now, if I hold these up, and if you can see me holding these up, I'm going to see if I can make this into a triangle. And I can make this into a triangle. I have all the ends, nothing's overlapping. There's no empty holes anywhere on the sides. So that does make a triangle. Now I'm going to show you one that does not make a triangle. So I have my 3 pieces here. I made 2 pretty small pieces, and then I have 1 pretty large piece. So my large piece is, I'm measuring this, let's say 21.1 centimeters. My second smallest piece, so my middle piece, is about 2.8. And my tiny, tiny piece is, say, 1.6. Now, if I try to take these and make a triangle, I'm going to put my 2 ends on here. You can see right here is my ends. I'm not even close to making a triangle here. All this open space. So what does that mean? That means that I could have told you from the beginning which one of these was going to make a triangle and which one wasn't, and I'll explain to you why. So here, let's go back to this first one. And the first one, to determine if it is going to make a triangle, all you need to do, if you are given all 3 sides, add the 2 smaller sides together. So 7.9 plus 7.2, those are my 2 smaller sides. And that equals 15.1 centimeters. As long as this 15.1 is longer than my longest of the 3 sides, this is going to form a triangle. So because the 15.1 is bigger than the 10.4, that forms a triangle. Let's look down here. So I'm just going to write yes next to this. Yes. If I look down here, I'm going to look at my 2 smaller size, 2.8 centimeters plus 1.6 centimeters, and that equals 4.4 centimeters. Well, 4.4 centimeters is not larger than 21.1. So that is not going to make a triangle. Remember, it has to be larger, not the same. So if I had 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and 5 centimeters, I'm going to add my 2 smaller sides. That is the exact same. I'm just going to separate these out a little bit. That is the exact same. So that is not going to form a triangle. It needs to be larger. So it'd have to be at least 5.1 for this to work. Even 5.01 would work. But this is how that has to work. So I'm just going to pull this up here. going to stop sharing this screen. And I'm going to share a different one. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Okay, so this page, we're actually going to be doing the first 2 pages that are here. So this is the 3rd page. So we're going to be looking at these and determining, I'm going to go through the first couple with you. We're going to look at these and determine whether or not these work. So if I look here, I'm going to look at my 2 smaller sides. Let me get a text box back on here. So let me move this over. All right, so my 2 smaller sides here are my 3 plus my 2.9, and that equals 5.9. Is 5.9 bigger than 5? Yes, it is. So yes, this forms a triangle. Let's look at number 2. Make this a little bit smaller so it's not. Okay, so I'm going to look at my 2 smaller sides. My 2 smaller sides here are 8 feet and 9 feet, and that equals 17 feet. Is 17 feet bigger than 11 feet? Yes, it is. So that forms a triangle. I'm going to show you one more, and then you can do the rest of them on your own if you'd like. Here, my 2 smaller sides is 4 meters plus 5.1 meters, and that equals 9.1 meters. Now, is 9.1 bigger than 12.5? No. So that is not going to form a triangle. So you're going to want to take the 2 smaller sides, add them together, and see if those 2 sides add up. The sum of those sides are greater than the 3rd side that is given. So you can go ahead and you can finish the rest of these problems on this page. I'm going to save this so that we can you can go back to it and you can actually look at it and reread this. So that's part of what we are learning today. The other part, I'm going to stop sharing this so I can share something new. The other part of it is sometimes you're going to be given, whoops, didn't share that. Let's try that again. Sometimes you're going to be given 2 sides and you need to find out the possibility of the 3rd side. Well, that's great. This is how we're going to do that. When you have 2 sides, to find what your upper range is, we're going to add them. So 8 meters, whoops, sorry, is the most that can be. To find the other end, we're going to do subtract them. So basically, we look at our 2, we find the difference of the range, and we find the sum of the range, which means that any possible leg, so the 3rd length or the 3rd side of that triangle could be between, so I would say 4m so between 4 meters, x has to be greater than 4 meters, but less than 8 meters. And that is how we find those 3rd legs. Let's go ahead and look at number 2. We're going to do the exact same thing here. So I'm going to say, well, to find my 1 side, I'm going to add them together. 5.2 plus 1.4, and that equals 6.6. Then I'm going to do 5.2 minus 1.4. And that equals 3.8. Whoops, I forgot my equal sign. So that the 3rd side length, because remember, they're not always giving us the 2 smallest ones. They might be giving us the big one and the medium one, or the big one and the small one. We just don't know what they're giving us. So this tells us that 3.8 centimeters So this is telling me that that third side needs to be between 3.8 centimeters and 6.6 centimeters. So we're going to stop there. There's 4 other problems. We'll end up giving you, we'll put the answers up somewhere so you can see if you're doing it right. But this is, again, how to find the third side if you're given 2. If you have questions, reach out to your math teacher. We are all available to help. And hopefully this went well for you. I'm going to save this again, just to make sure we have a screenshot. Those are my children in the background doing their e-learning. So hopefully your house is going a little bit better than my house is. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will talk soon. Take care.